more of I guess I just turned that into a speech, didn't I? I wanted to have this more of a discussion, really among family, because that's how I see all of you, is that we really are our family here. We've been through a lot of battles. We're going to continue to be through battles going forward. And any issues that are on your mind, or what you're seeing, or anything you want to hear, that would be great. I know no one's bashful.
Who was the one vote, Republican vote?
It was Representative Gow, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's from Louisiana, New Orleans.
He took over a D+25 district.
Yeah, he is in a very Democratic district when he voted. It was interesting, his vote, you need 218 votes to pass it. He was 219, so he wanted to make sure that it was passing. We're happy to have his vote.
Very thank you. Get my marriage in. For my excellency.
Oh, that was your question. Okay, good. Yeah, good.
It's
One of the scare tactics that's been used is
reserve.
the comment that it's going to harm Medicare
What
in some way.
type
Can
of-
you comment on what the bill will do for Medicare?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's the other issue that is critical importance, is to make sure that we're talking to our seniors. A lot of scare tactics on that. We were very heartened, as I hope all of you were, when the AARP endorsed this proposal. It is very important to have the AARP out there endorsing it as a courageous move. And to have that, in fact, we got a lot of calls from our seniors. In fact, let me just pause briefly. I want to thank my staff, because you just can't imagine the number of phone calls we have had these last few days, and they have been taking these calls, a lot from seniors, a lot from other folks that have been concerned about that coming in, and the seniors are some of the area that we have to be concerned about, to make sure the seniors understand that the Democratic Party, the party that created Medicare, against the same arguments we're hearing from the Republicans right now, that use the exact same arguments, the exact same scare tactics to try to stop Medicare, are doing it again. We're not about weakening Medicare. We're going to be strengthening Medicare, and this bill actually strengthens Medicare in many fronts. First off, it deals with this donut hole that was created when the Republicans let the drug companies write the prescription drug benefit. And it plugs the donut hole right now that seniors have to pay anything over $2,700. They've got to pay 100%. It immediately cuts it in half. Right away, 50% is cut for seniors. Over the next few years, it's completely eliminated. It also, for seniors, gets rid of co-pays for wellness type of procedures. So if you need a mammogram or screening, anything of that nature, there's going to be no impediment for seniors to go in to get that. One, it makes good economic sense, obviously, to catch things early. You save money, but it's simply also the right thing to do for people to make sure that we're focusing on wellness. The other key factor is that this bill actually increases the life of Medicare by several years as well, because it is fiscally responsible, it is paid for, and it actually reduces the deficit. You hear a lot of big numbers out there, but it actually reduces the deficit by $30 billion over the next 10 years. So that is a very important one that we need to be talking about.
I read somewhere, and some of the right-wing blogs have been talking about the high rate of Medicare denials. That it's as high, that Medicare is actually as high as the highest private insurance company. Can you, I don't know if you can or not, maybe that's not something you're familiar with, but can you address why Medicare would have such a high denial rate for their services?
Services?
Yeah.
We'd have to check into those numbers. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but we'd be happy to check that. Yes.
Is there anything that we can do in the state of Michigan with our two Democratic senators to put pressure on the Blue Dog Democrats in other states, and even on the Republican senators in other states, to help this Senate vote get passed? Is there anything we can actually do about that?
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say, I mean, obviously we've got two great senators here who are going to be there for us, but we've got to get pressure on the other folks in the other states to do that. I mean, you can contact them yourselves directly. It doesn't mean the same when you're out of state, so you've got to reach out to your friends and others. Should
we be like really actively supporting a particular group, like Move On, for example? Is there somewhere we should really be concentrating our efforts? Now that we know we've got our Michigan senators in line, we know that. So is there somewhere we should be placing our energies elsewhere to try and get that Senate vote online?
I think, as I mentioned, where I think where our energies really have to be focused is we've got to be convincing the public at large right now. We've got to win this battle out there to get the support. There's already, you're seeing that. You saw that with the public option, that now close to 60% of the people in the country support a public option. It's been growing. As people learn more about this plan and cut through all of the misinformation that's out there, and get more of the facts and show stronger and stronger public support, you'll see momentum for this, not only getting through the Senate, but it's got to get through the conference committee and it's got to come back to the House. So the battle will occur back in the House again. There has to be strong public momentum for these reforms, and the only way we can do that is that we have to get out there.
Is it Barack again?
Yeah.
Better answer it this time, Gary.
To get that kind of support to grow, because it's good. The battle, if again, I think it'll get through the Senate, but we got to make sure when it comes to the conference that we have true reforms. This has got to be true reform. This bill's got to be really about that, and so that's why I think it's important for all of us to build strong grassroots support. We're also going to need to do that politically for us here too, because they're going to come at me pretty hard. As you know, that the folks out there, they've been very aggressive out there. They're going to come at us. They're going to try to stop moving our agenda that all of us have fought many, many years for, and they're going to try to put a stop to this momentum, and so we've got to hold these seats as well, and the only way we hold these seats is to make sure we're out there talking to people, our neighbors, our friends and co-workers, making sure that they understand that this is about their future, it's about their children's future. I can't do all the talking, the president can't do all the talking. As powerful as the president's podium is, we need to be on the ground talking, and each and every one of you are the prime people to be doing that. I'd focus your energies here locally to build that kind of support, because we're going to need it for both the short term and in the long run.
Organizing for America is one way to do it.
Right, absolutely. We want to give you a pitch for Organizing for America as well. Yes, sir.
I was just wanting to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart. My girlfriend don't got insurance, and I just want to tell you thank you for voting for that, because that means a lot to me and my family. She's very sick right now, so I just want to tell you thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
One thing that you specifically as a federal representative might be able to speak to, it really sticks in my craw that with Michigan hurting so specifically, we still are a donor nation with our federal tax dollars.
Right.
And from what I've heard from some of our state legislators, you might have been doing some work on that front. So if you want to share with us, or what's the next step in the direction? Because with Michigan in such a uniquely difficult spot, why the heck are we still a donor state?
Right, and a lot of it is part of some of these transportation formulas, particularly on the infrastructure and roads, which are trying to get changed right now where we are. Send more money to Washington than we get back. We've got a concerted effort on part of our delegation to change that. My colleague, Mark Schauer, who was elected when I was, is on the Transportation Committee and actually has a couple great bills dealing with that. That changes some of the formulas in the short run. So, for example, matching funds. To get federal money, you need to have matching funds to bring those federal dollars into your state. But as the Lieutenant Governor knows very well, and those in the legislature, Marie and others, it's difficult to get those matching funds when the state budget is in such a difficult strait right now. So we want to reduce the amount that states that are particularly hard hit with unemployment and the economy, that they don't have to meet the same standards of matching. It doesn't make any sense that those states that are in the worst economic shape actually have the most difficulty in getting federal dollars in. It doesn't make any sense at all, particularly for our state, which has always been there contributing to states for years, decades. We've been contributing. We've had some great times here in Michigan. Now that times are rougher, it's time for us to get some help so we can be back on our feet to do that once again. So that's going to change those formulas. It'll change some of the matching requirements that I think are very, very important. It's also why I did things, as Tim mentioned, my Advanced Vehicle Technology Act, which I think is important that we focus, more than anything else now, we've got to be focusing on jobs and economic development. There is nothing more important as healthcare is. And healthcare fits in with this, and I'm passionate about that but we still need to be focusing on jobs and bringing as many dollars as we can into Michigan to help that. My Advanced Vehicle Technology Act it authorizes, I should say, $3 billion over the next 5 years for advanced vehicle research, hybrids, electrics, hydrogen fuel, the full range of types of technology. It's great national policy, and the way the money is brought back is it goes to auto suppliers that are that cutting edge companies that are doing that. It just so happens that most of the companies that will qualify for this money happen to be in southeast Michigan. So it is. So that's how we bring the money back. It passed the House of Representatives on a bipartisan fashion, so something, not even a wider bipartisan than the healthcare bill. I actually had the endorsement of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, that doesn't happen much. The unions, my friends in labor, and the environmental groups. It's very rare you get all three of those groups together, and we passed it with 315 votes.